Lacey's spin at Brooklands ends his challenge, and Berger loses his chance to consolidate his pole time when he hits the Armco on the exit of the pit lane. Schumacher waits. Hill goes out for his last run as Williams designer Patrick Head loosens his collar. The Williams is visibly more committed through the sweeps of Maggots, Beckett and Chappell. Schumacher sets off for his last run as Hill finishes his with a pole-grabbing time of 1 minute 24.960, 2/100ths of a second quicker than Berger. It's now all eyes on the monitors and the Benetton to see if Schumacher can steal the pole position. (1:24.963) is not enough. Hill has the pole by just 0.003 of a second. Schumacher will join him on the front row with Berger and Alesi third and fourth.
Schumacher's Benetton screams off the line at the start of the formation lap and contravenes the FIA regulation Article 120 by overtaking the pole position man as the field comes round to form up for the race start. As the cars take up position, Coulthard's engine stalls and the start is aborted. Coulthard now having to start the race from the back of the grid. Irvine's Hart V10 seizes on the next formation lap before even reaching the grid for the start, while Brundle's Peugeot V10 lets go in a ball of flame as the lights switch to green. Up at the front, it's Hill who has got away in the lead with Schumacher second and pressing hard. On lap 13, it's announced that Schumacher will receive a 5-second penalty for his antics on the formation lap. Lap 21, and the German is shown the black flag and repeatedly on laps 22 and 23.
Not in the computer. Never. That's what the marshal said.
It's a stop and go penalty.
Doesn't see the paperwork didn't say that, Roland.
No?
That's why, no, honestly, that's why I didn't come in.
It was in the paper.
No, it wasn't, sir. Honestly, it wasn't.
Despite the verbal protestations of its team, Schumacher has to come in for a 5-second stop-go penalty. The team showing him the InSign on his pit board on lap 25, and the German actually coming in at the end of lap 27. All this is good news for Hill and the Williams team as his lead stretches to around 20 seconds once Schumacher is back in the race. As the laps count down towards the checkered flag, Hill and Coulthard run nose-to-tail formation, although the Scot is 1 lap down. Hill leads, Schumacher is second, Alesi third, Hakkinen fourth, Barrichello fifth and Coulthard sixth. It's a dream come true for Damon.
Best day of my life. My father never won it. And I'd like to say that it's some sort of vindication, I feel, and I don't know quite why it happened, but I mean it's just a dream come true that I won the British Grand Prix, and I feel like that has completed the little hole that my father left in his record, and I'm sure that he'll be delighted, and I think it's a wonderful thing. I really need to make a compliment to them to be here in front of the home Grand Prix. It's something special. Thank you, Michael.
Schumacher finds himself with a 2-race ban and disqualification from the British Grand Prix following his formation lap contravention and his ignoring of the black flag. It's a major blow to the championship leaders' title aspirations. Hakkinen and Barrichello receive 1-race suspended bans for this incident at the last corner on the last lap at Silverstone. Michael Schumacher appeals against his 2-race ban. The hearing will take place after Belgium. He does run the risk of having his sentence increased by the appeal, but the pressure for him to race at home is intense.
For every driver, the most important and the most emotional race is always the home Grand Prix.
Plank makes its debut at Hockenheim in the final round of changes to be instituted by the FIA in 1994. The 10mm thick, 300mm wide device has the effect of raising the ride height, thus reducing downforce. Rear wing dimensions are also reduced. In Friday morning's free practice, Berger's engine lets go in a big way and Gerhard loses control of the car on his own oil. The teams have to keep a close eye on the wear of the planks. There is an allowable wear tolerance of 10%, but that's just 1mm. Schumacher's Benetton is not ideally suited to the long Hockenheim straights, but in front of his home crowd, he would give his all in qualifying. Early in the final qualifying session, Häkkinen has a big off at the first corner. The Finn is unharmed. Fourth quickest in Friday afternoon's qualifying session in just one run, Jean Alesi makes use of the new V12 first use at Silverstone to record 1 minute 44.012 and claim pole position on his first flying lap of Saturday afternoon. With the split time showing an improvement on his second flying lap, things are looking good until the engine cover parts company with the car in spectacular fashion. Williams have a new FW16B for Hockenheim, and Hill is fastest on Friday but fails to improve on Saturday, dropping to third. Schumacher would need all the luck a patriotic crowd could bestow to achieve a front row starting position, but it isn't enough. Fourth. Alesi is still quickest, but you can never underestimate Gerhard Berger.
I was pushing like hell in this lap, and I was in one corner. I went wide because I braked too late. I lost a little bit time there, otherwise it was just a perfect lap, you know. Sometimes you just get these things together. I mean, I was pushing even in the last lap and it was a bit slower than this lap. It was just right, everything, the tire felt right, and you know, it's just one of these days where you get everything together.
The perfect lap and pole position, nearly half a second quicker than Jean Alesi. It's the first all-Ferrari front row since Prost and Mansell in Portugal nearly 4 years ago.
As Berger and Alesi get cleanly away at the front, there's mayhem in the middle of the pack and further confusion at the first corner. Zanardi is out. Herbert, Irvine and Barrichello are out. Martinez out. Alboreto, Blundell is out. De Cesaris and Frentzen are out. Häkkinen's out. 10 cars are out by the first corner. On board with Katayama on the way down to the first chicane, Alesi's electrics expire. The Frenchman pulling off the racing line towards retirement. Already pulling well clear at the front, Berger leads with the nose of Schumacher's Benetton pushed right up under the rear wing of the Austrian. As the leading pair cross the start-finish line for the first time, they do so to a mass of waved yellows. Coulthard arrives in the pits, immediately followed by Damon Hill, the former with deranged front wings from the first corner accident, and Hill with damaged suspension after being caught by Katayama's Tyrrell at the first chicane. Berger still leads and Schumacher still presses. And an unfortunate Katayama spins out of third place with his throttle having stuck open. Still, Schumacher cannot find a way past Berger. Lap 15, Jos Verstappen makes his first scheduled pit stop and things go dramatically wrong. Somehow, unbelievably, no one is critically injured. The young Dutchman freeing himself from the car. Lap 20, Berger comes in for his one scheduled fuel tire stop. Seconds later, Schumacher is in, and this is not in his schedule. Engine failure is the cause, and Schumacher retires from a race for the first time this year. so Berger enjoys a huge lead from Olivier Panis and Eric Bernard in the two Ligiers, now running second and third respectively. Their newfound form, courtesy of Renault horsepower and the carnage at the start of the race. The checkered flag can't come soon enough for Lauda, Alesi and Tost on the pit wall. Probably not for Berger either, as the only thing standing between him and Ferrari's first win in 58 races could be mechanical gremlins. They don't, he does it, and Ferrari's first win since Prost in Spain 1990 is hugely popular. The two Ligiers come in second and third, delighting Cesare Fiorio. After the race, Berger says he could have won even without Schumacher's retirement.
I was in troubles, but I could keep him behind. I was just once in a dangerous position. Once he was alongside me, but I could block it. And so I was just able to keep him in front, in the back, but I was on the limit.
Mika Häkkinen will be replaced in Hungary by Philippe Alliot following the steward's decision to ban him for one race, laying the blame for the first corner accident firmly at the feet of the young Finn. Another view of the Benetton pit fire at Hockenheim, this time from the rear three-quarter, and it's plain to see how close things came to becoming a major accident had not the fire extinguisher carrying mechanics acted so quickly. Jos Verstappen appears remarkably calm after the event. Hungaroring's slippery surface and the new lower downforce regulations produce more than 50 spins during practice and qualifying. Despite a spin on Friday, Hill emerges from qualifying with second spot on the grid, 6/10 away from pole position, but more than a second clear of third place Coulthard. Schumacher unsurprisingly takes his fourth pole of the year, but spins himself on his way to achieving it.
For once, it's Hill that gets the better start over Schumacher. The German simply drives around the outside of the Williams into the first corner to snatch the lead. Coulthard is third, Berger fourth, Katayama, Irvine and Barrichello all fighting for fifth. It cannot and doesn't last as the two Jordans and the Tyrrell of Katayama have it coming together whilst fighting over the same bit of tarmac at turn two. All three are instant retirements. 1/3 distance, and Martin Brundle tries unsuccessfully to outbreak Mark Blundell for fifth place. By now, Schumacher has a comfortable lead from a frustrated Hill in second, dropping back all the time with traffic. Lap 26, Verstappen makes his first pit stop since Hockenheim.
No problems with the first pit stop. Just I had the valve was closed, and yeah, he did a normal pit stop, and so it worked very well.
In Hungary, all the teams have new safety clothing and headgear as an extra precaution during refueling stops. Lap 60 and David Coulthard is defending third place against a resolute Martin Brundle when things go wrong. The only casualty is some Scottish pride. With the race in the back, Hill being a long way back in second and Brundle third, Schumacher slows to allow Verstappen to unlap himself and have a chance to snatch third from Brundle. Schumacher's tally is now 7 victories from 10 starts in 94. Hill takes his 4th second place of the year, and it's Jos Verstappen who takes 3rd. He explains how.
I was working fourth position, and then the last lap I could see it well now, and it's still really dark. So then on halfway the lap I passed him, and I was really happy. I really need to take my really long passing and then could make another lap.
More controversy surrounds the Benetton team following the Verstappen pit fire at Hockenheim. The team is summoned to appear before the World Motorsport Council on October 19th to explain why a fuel filter was removed from the refuelling rig. If found guilty, it's in the power of the council to exclude Benetton from the championship. Belgian Philippe Adams will make his Grand Prix debut at Spa for Lotus, replacing Zanardi. Philippe Alliot moves from McLaren duties in Hungary to Larousse in Belgium. He replaces Olivier Beretta. The classic Eau Rouge of Spa-Francorchamps is no longer. For this year's race, a new, much tighter chicane is now in place. As seems so often the case at Spa for the Belgian Grand Prix, the weather is wet, and it's Friday afternoon session that will ultimately decide the grid for Sunday's race. Damon Hill is unable to gain maximum benefit from his Renault engine in such conditions, but goes 3rd fastest with a time of 2 minutes 21.681 seconds. Typically, Alesi is one of the first to have a crack with slicks on a drying track and is faster by quite a margin until badly balked by Brundle on his last time lap. The Frenchman is therefore 5th and furious with the Englishman. Rubens Barrichello has shown his wet weather prowess in the past, most notably at Donington in '93. He too opts for slicks and goes fastest with a lap of 2 minutes 21.163. Schumacher is another to take advantage of slicks on Friday afternoon, but a spin on the fastest of his few laps would see him 2nd fastest. On Saturday there is no chance to run on slicks, and Barrichello sits out the final qualifying session with his manager and the Jordan team. Alesi, Schumacher, Hill, Coulthard and others try in vain to depose the young Brazilian. Alesi ends up fastest of the Saturday runners, but he's 4 seconds shy of Barrichello's pole time.
I know that there are people trying to win the championship, and I'm not gonna be in front of them. If they come to overtake me, they will do. There will be no problem. So I just want to do my race and try to finish on the podium.
This is Barrichello and the Jordan team's first Grand Prix pole position. Unfortunately for Barrichello, but not for the Williams and Ferraris, race day is sunny and dry.
In the short run-up to La Sorte's hairpin, Barrichello manages to hold the line and take the lead on the exit. Down to Eau Rouge, it's Schumacher 2nd, the fast starting Alesi 3rd and Hill 4th with Verstappen and Coulthard 5th and 6th. Into Les Combes at the top of the hill, Schumacher outdrags the Jordan and takes the lead around the outside. And by the end of the first lap, Barrichello is down to 3rd. At the end of lap 2, Alesi's engine expires. Jean is having an incredibly frustrating season at Ferrari, constantly being hampered with mechanical failures. What does he have to do to change his luck? The atmosphere in the Williams garage is strained as Hill makes his first stop on lap 12, rejoining down in 4th just behind Barrichello. Lap 13 and Coulthard makes his first stop. It's quicker than Hill's and he gets back out just in front of his teammate. So the order is Schumacher, Barrichello, Coulthard and Hill. Lap 19, Schumacher makes an uncharacteristic error. Lap 20 and it's Barrichello's turn, but he's not so lucky as he skates off at the fast downhill entry to Pouhon. Lap 37, Coulthard waits Hill past after receiving a radio message to call into the pits to have his rear wing checked out. It's the first of a number of problems to beset the young Scotsman. Coulthard talks us through.
I was running strongly in second place, and then I had the team called me in because they thought it was maybe a problem with the rear wing. It was okay, so I went back out and then we jammed in 4th gear. So I'm disappointed because I thought now I'd get on the podium. I feel so on my brakes. I couldn't slow down, and I've apologised to Mark because it was totally my fault.
The number 2 Williams finishes 5th, behind Verstappen 4th, Hakkinen 3rd, and Hill 2nd, unable to do anything about catching the winner. But for the first time in '94, Michael Schumacher. Belgium marks the return of McLaren Peugeot to the podium for the first time since Monaco in May. One can't help feeling sorry though for Barrichello and what might have been had the weekend stayed damp. As it was, in the dry, he looked good for a podium finish.
After the race, yet more controversy for Schumacher as he's disqualified for an undersized plank which the Benetton team claims is a result of this spin on lap 19. The race win is therefore awarded to Damon Hill. The International Court of Appeal upholds the 2-race ban imposed on Schumacher for ignoring the black flag at the British Grand Prix. He'll therefore miss the Italian and Portuguese Grand Prix. At a meeting of the FIA World Motorsport Council in Paris, Benetton's fuel rig tampering charge is brought forward and McLaren is in the dock over the use of a fully automatic upcharge device. Both were acquitted. JJ Leto will substitute for Schumacher at Monza and Estoril. Alessandro Zanardi gets his Lotus seat back from Philippe Adams for Monza. Yannick Delmas takes over the second Larousse alongside Eric Comas.
I'm happy. For me it's a pleasure to be here with the team together again, and I feel well.
Carl Bindlinger attends his first Grand Prix since his crash in practice at Monaco. It's long faces at Benetton without Michael Schumacher. Verstappen qualifies 10th, Leto 20th. With Schumacher banned for the next 2 races, Hill has the opportunity to narrow the title race to a 1-point margin. The pressure for wins is intense. He qualifies 3rd with 1 minute 24.158. Teammate Coulthard qualifies 5th, 0.35 slower. Johnny Herbert has a new lighter and more powerful Mugen Honda V10 engine for Monza, and it transforms the ill-handling Lotus 109. The man from Mugen never realised how many friends he's got as Johnny puts the car in 4th spot for Sunday's race with a lap of 1 minute 24.374. Olivier Panis is impressively quick in Ligier. He's 6th fastest. Ferrari comes to Monza having won at Hockenheim, and the Tifosi have come to see win number 2. Berger sets the ball rolling with a front row time of 1 minute 23.978. Now it's Alesi's turn, quickest in Friday afternoon's qualifying session, quickest during Saturday's free practice. He has every chance of claiming his first pole position at the 81st attempt.
I'm very happy to beat my teammate because he did his maximum and I'm quicker.
Like usual?
But Damon Hill is a man on a
I
mission.
think we're well poised to spoil the party tomorrow. I'd say worry if I were you. If you want to win the race tomorrow.
Sunday starts badly for Ferrari. In the morning warm-up session, Berger has a huge off at the Variante della Roggia. Sylvester Stallone is in town and flies into Monza to get a closer look at the world of Formula One.
Don't hurt my feet. Don't hurt my feet. I just had my nails done.
John Alesi is joined on the front row by his teammate Gerhard Berger, shaken but not stirred after his morning excursion.
Long run down to the first chicane, and Alesi emerges just ahead of Berger, Hill, Herbert and Chaos. Irvine logs up and knocks Herbert into a spin, taking out the Ligier of Panis and Coulthard's Williams. With much of the field caught up in a traffic jam, the decision is taken to stop the race. Coulthard rushes back for the spare Williams. At the restart, again Alesi gets away first from Berger, Hill, Coulthard and Häkkinen. And again there are problems at the first chicane, albeit this time involving Verstappen, Zanardi and Morbidelli, and of a much less serious nature. Verstappen limps back to the pits and retirement without completing a lap. In the early laps, Alesi simply disappears, building a 10-second cushion to second-place Berger. Lap 13, Herbert races over the spare car's old spec Mugen expires. Herbert still fuming over Irvine's do-or-die manoeuvre at the first start. Lap 14, John Alesi makes his first scheduled stop and the gearbox fails as he tries to leave his pit. The luckless Alesi is livid and, more importantly, out of the race. With Alesi gone, Berger now leads from Hill and Coulthard. Further back and falling away from the leading trio, Häkkinen is fourth and Frentzen fifth. Lap 24 and Berger makes his one scheduled stop, but is delayed in rejoining as Panis pulls in for his stop, losing the Austrian valuable time and the lead of the race. Lap 29, Hill leads with Coulthard shadowing his every move in second, Berger runs in third and Häkkinen fourth. On the last lap, the order is unchanged, with only the parabolica between the leaders and the checkered flag. But still it's enough to rob Coulthard of a certain second as he runs out of fuel and drops to sixth. For Hill, though, it's an important 10 points to move him closer to Schumacher in the chase for the title.
I was really looking forward to having David on the roster and having a Williams 1-2, and it's unfortunate that we didn't get that result. But that's one down of the 2 races that Michael's away. That's one down, 1 to go, and it's terrific, absolutely fantastic result.
Katayama was charging all the way behind me, all the way through the race, but he was planning 2 stops, and I was doing a 1 fuel stop, which was excellent, and it was good, excellent race. Yeah.
Eddie Irvine receives a 1-race ban, suspended for 3 races. The stewards assessing that Irvine's speed on the approach to the first chicane was excessively high and caused an avoidable accident. Filipe Arams will be having another go in a Lotus at Estoril in Portugal.
He lost control of his car, and I decided to keep going to get the lap time, and he came back onto the track and hit my car, and my car turned over. It was quite interesting, but I unfortunately was not hurt, which is a big relief.
Portugal, round 13 of the 16-round FIA Formula One World Championship. A memorial is unveiled to commemorate the late Ayrton Senna. Senna's girlfriend is present at the ceremony. Gerhard Berger is on pole position, 1/10 in front of Damon Hill. Coulthard is 3rd, Hakkinen 4th, Alesi 5th and Katayama 6th. The 2 Benettons of Verstappen and Leto are 10th and 14th.
Berger makes full use of his pole position as Coulthard gets the jump on Hill to take 2nd. Further back, Barrichello goes around the outside of Frentzen to take 6th. The order at the end of lap 1 is Berger, Coulthard, Hill, Alesi, Hakkinen and Barrichello. It doesn't last. Lap 7 and Berger is out with gearbox pump failure. Lap 18, Coulthard comes in for the first of 2 scheduled stops. Lap 19, Hill is in for his first of 2. Coulthard leads just ahead of Hill. Lap 28, Coulthard is trapped behind Comas and runs wide onto the marbles. Hill dives to the inside and takes the lead. Lap 39, and Lacey comes up to lap the Simtek of David Grabham, another non-finish. Laps 46 and 47 see a flood of second stops in the pit lane. Mark Blundell, Eddie Irvine, Olivier Panis, Mika Hakkinen, Jos Verstappen, Michele Alboreto, and Gianni Morbidelli. With all the stops over by lap 50, Hill's first and goes on to win. Coulthard is second and gets his first podium finish. Hakkinen is third for the second race in succession. Rubens Barrichello is fourth. Hill's win brings him within 1 point of Schumacher in the Drivers' Championship.
Absolutely, completely and utterly delighted, because I knew that we had a good car here and a good engine and the whole package was good, but you're asking a lot from reliability and all the luck factors that can't be accounted for. Now we've got a fantastic platform from which to challenge in the last few races.
It's Coulthard's last race for Williams in 1994, and a fitting result both for him and his mechanics.
I was being here every lap when I was counting down to the finish that something would happen, and I'm very happy to be here in my last race for Williams. And this really is for all my mechanics who haven't had a podium this year and they've got a terrible year. So this is for them for having faith even when I was having some bad races. I didn't know whether my video was on and off and I phoned down, Matt. I was talking to you and I wasn't sure. John, thanks very much. I was really worried that something was going to happen.
In a shock move, Herbert joins Ligier and Eric Bernard moves the opposite way to join Zanardi, who's back in the place of Adams. Hideki Noda joins Larousse. And Mimo Schiaparella joins Simtek. Bigger news is that Mansell will partner Hill for the remainder of the season. Most exciting is that Hill and Schumacher are now head-to-head for the championship with 3 races remaining. It's all to play for at the European Grand Prix in Jerez. Hill dominates the qualifying times on Friday, but Frentzen is a surprise second quickest with Schumacher down in third. It's not his own driving, but that of others giving Damon most cause for concern. Saturday, slightly cooler conditions than on Friday. Nigel Mansell improves on his Friday time by 1.5 seconds and moves up from 6th to 3rd for Sunday's race. But the top 2 grid positions are destined for Hill and Schumacher. Who gets the pole will be decided by 2 p.m. local time. Schumacher takes it with a lap of 1 minute 22.762 versus Hill's 1 minute 22.892, a difference of just over 1/10 of a second.
Well and truly fluffs the start, and in comparison to his usual getaways, so does Schumacher, allowing Hill to snatch the lead on the run into the first corner. At the end of lap 1, Hill leads, Schumacher is second, Frentzen third, Barrichello fourth, Berger fifth, and Mansell sixth. Lap 2, Mansell passes Berger, and on lap 6 he goes past Barrichello into fourth. Next up is this man Frentzen. Lap 8, Brundle's engine expires. Lap 12, Mansell is balked by a slowing Noda, and Barrichello is back up to fourth. A long way in front now, Hill still has Schumacher matching his every move. Lap 15, Schumacher pits for the first of 3 planned stops. Mansell pits for a new nose, courtesy of Noda's gearbox. Lap 18, Hill pits for the first of 2 planned stops. Hill's stop is longer, allowing Schumacher to take the lead. Hill rejoins in second. Lap 33, Frentzen makes his one and only fuel tire stop. Hakkinen moves up a place to third. With Irvine in fourth. Lap 33, the Benetton team prepare for Schumacher's second stop. Lap 35, Hill makes his second stop. Lap 45, Mansell stops to have a loose front wing end plate bolt seen to. And on lap 47, he spins into retirement in a gravel trap. Schumacher takes a comfortable 8th win of the season. Hill finishes second and Hakkinen third. Schumacher's championship title chase is back on course, but it's not over yet with 2 races left, and Schumacher on 86 points to Hill's 81.
Back in the position where you left 2 races ago, it's the best thing that happened. The whole weekend was great. It started with a football match, which my team won. It went further with pole position on Saturday, after not nice qualifying on Friday, where we had a little problem, but it worked out in Saturday's qualifying, and then winning the race by not just a little margin, by a big margin.
The Williams team suffered fuel gauge problems at the European Grand Prix, which led to a change to the race strategy. Hill had to be called in 5 laps sooner than planned, and this may have contributed to his slower pace after his first stop. Mercedes end months of speculation by announcing its deal with McLaren for 1995. Eddie Jordan immediately picks up the Peugeot Works engine deal for his team next season. JJ Leto will partner Frentzen at Suzuka, as De Cesaris seems certain to retire from Formula One. Mika Salo joins Lotus alongside Zanardi for the Japanese Grand Prix. Frenchman Frank Lagos will partner Olivier Panis at Ligier for the last 2 races of the year. Johnny Herbert is drafted in at Benetton alongside Schumacher to help strengthen their manufacturers' championship title aspirations. Really can do with the win at Suzuka if he harbours serious hopes for the championship. He's second quickest in Friday qualifying, just under half a second shy of Schumacher's provisional pole time of 1:37.209. Heinz-Harald Frentzen is third fastest, less than a tenth behind Hill. Mansell is fourth on 1:37.768. Saturday is wet and the grid will be decided on Friday's times. With a 60% chance of rain for the race, Schumacher's thoughts on how grippy or not the track may be give some indication of what we can expect.
Of course, there are certain areas where it keeps the water and the water doesn't go away, but it is quite grippy, I would say, and it's all right. But if it is heavy rain, then it's going to be very difficult.
Damon Hill is happy, wet or dry.
It'd be a mistake to be overconfident. I think that things are getting better for us over the weekend. I'm on the front row, and that's very important. And if I can make it to the first corner first, then I think that I'm in very good shape.
Schumacher makes a lunge to head off Hill as the field squirms off the line. For anyone other than Schumacher with a clear road ahead, all they will see is a white wall of water in front of their eyes. Damon Hill slots into second place behind Schumacher, just far enough away to catch glimpses of the track ahead. With Nato and Noda already out before completing a single lap, as well as rapidly deteriorating weather, Katayama slams his Tyrrell into the pit wall on the start-finish straight. Herbert's Benetton is in the wall on the other side of the track. And Taki Inui just manages to avoid Katayama's car as he performs a similar pirouette. It's enough to warrant the safety car and give the marshals an opportunity to clear the wreckage. The remainder of the field holds formation for 7 laps behind the safety car. End of lap 9, the safety car pulls into the pit lane and the battle is resumed. Lap 10, Lagorce's race ends in an accident at the first corner with Martini, and Alboreto spins off in sympathy moments later. Lap 13, Morbidelli has a big accident at the Denia curve. Lap 14, Brundle goes off at the same corner, colliding with one of the marshals, who fortunately suffers no more than a broken leg, but it's enough to bring out the red flag. Some of the drivers are in favour of abandoning the race. Others want to continue. Views are mixed. Hill throughout sits in his car, helmet on, concentration unbroken and ready to continue.
So the race will not start? Yes.
The stewards declare that the race will be restarted and run over 37 laps, with the result being the aggregate of the two parts. In addition, for reasons of safety, the restart will be a rolling one behind the safety car.
Rolling start. That way it's the safest way.
Schumacher is ready when the safety car pulls off and leaves Hill a bit further behind than he might wish. In third and fourth are Lacey and Mansell, the latter being held up, but he's unable to outdrag the more powerful Ferrari where it matters. Five laps into the restart, Schumacher is in for fuel and tyres, his team having decided on a two-stop strategy. Schumacher's stop gives Hill the lead and a cushion of 17 seconds. Schumacher appears to be stuck behind Häkkänen's McLaren at this stage. With Häkkinen running fifth, one would expect the Benetton to pass easily. Lap 25, Hill makes his one and only scheduled stop, but only 3 tyres are changed as the right rear wheel refuses to come off. He rejoins behind the Alesi-Mansell third-fourth place battle, which shows no sign of abating. Lap 36, and although Schumacher's Benetton is behind Hill, Schumacher is in fact leading the race on aggregate timing. Lap 40, Hill is back in front as Schumacher dives for the pits to make the second of his scheduled stops. It's a quick stop, 7 seconds, but by the time he rejoins, he is 15 seconds behind Hill with 9 laps left to the finish. 7 laps to go. Hill leads Schumacher by 12 seconds. 6 laps to go. The gap is now 10.1. 5 laps to go. It's down to 8.3 seconds. 4 laps, 7 seconds. 3 laps, 5.2 seconds. 2 laps, 4.2. 1 lap, 2.4. It all comes down to the last lap, Hill or Schumacher. Hill takes the checkered flag, but still we must wait for the gap to Schumacher. As the German crosses the line, it's Hill who wins. Still enjoying their duel for third, Mansell manages to squeeze past Alesi at the chicane on the last lap. He takes third on the road, but on aggregate, Alesi is the final man on the podium. Schumacher is the first to extend his hand to Hill after the race. While Mansell and Alesi have genuinely enjoyed a classic clean tussle, it's an extremely satisfying moment for Damon.
It was flat out all the way. It was. I knew that I couldn't take any. I couldn't be cautious. I knew that I really just could not drive with any amount of conservatism. So I was really sort of throwing caution to the wind and in an effort to stay ahead of Michael. And that's so satisfying to race like that. But it really does mean a lot to end up in first position at the end of the race.
For Australia, Jean-Denis Delatraz joins Hideki Noda at Larousse. Peter Sauber confirms a one-year exclusive deal for the new Ford Zetec R engine in 1995. Not since 1986 has the championship been decided in Australia, and then it was between Prost, Mansell and Piquet. Prost won. Who will it be this time, Hill or Schumacher?
I think Michael Schumacher. I'm sure Michael Schumacher. The problem is I can't see into the future. Tough fight, but Michael will take it in the end. Hill.
Damon Hill.
I think Michael Schumacher will win.
You have not, the crystal ball.
So Damon Hill, Piquet, because he's quickest. I will. Oh.
Damon. I think he deserves it.
Damon Hill.
Australians know a thing or two about Formula One, and the locals have their own views.
Damon Hill will win the World Championship.
Ferrari, the best.
Hill, definitely.
Schumacher.
Schumacher will win it.
Schumacher. Schumacher will win the World Championship.
Hill?
Schumacher.
Damon Hill.
Damon Hill, not a worry. Father and son team. Nigel, hopefully, will come first. Hill will come second. And the other guy will come third. What an event.
Yeah, okay.
Mansell is quickest in Friday's official qualifying, with Schumacher second and Hill third, the young German having a sizable off at the end of the session. Hakkinen puts his McLaren Peugeot up there, fourth fastest. Barrichello is fifth, little over a tenth quicker than teammate Eddie Irvine in sixth. As in Japan, Saturday's qualifying session is spoiled by rain, and it's the Friday times which will determine the grid for the race. So Mansell is on pole, looking relaxed and as quick as ever.
Well, I mean, this track is very difficult, and you've got to explore the limits of the envelope, especially when you're driving against big great drivers that we have either side of us, and they don't leave anything to chance. And I chose the escape road a number of times, purely and simply that if I try to get around the corner, I probably might have ended up going, well, it's pretty quick, you should try it tomorrow. That was a bit slow.
Schumacher makes the best start as Mansell gets too much wheel spin and drops to third behind Hill. Hakkinen is fourth until Mansell has a minor excursion which allows Hakkinen and Barrichello through. By lap 10, Hill and Schumacher are already lapping the LaRousse of Delatraz. Hill maintaining a consistent gap of around 1.5 seconds to the Benetton in front. Lap 13, Blundell overshoots and slides across the runoff, managing to avoid contact with the tyre wall as Johnny Herbert retires with gearbox problems. Lap 14, Damon Hill is now just 7/10 behind Schumacher. Mika Hakkinen's McLaren is third, Mansell's moved up to fourth, Barrichello's fifth and Jean Alesi sixth. Lap 15, Eddie Irvine spins out of seventh at the end of the 190-mile-per-hour de Kentville Terrace. Lap 18, Schumacher and Hill pit together. Separated by less than a second, and they depart the same. Hill proceeds to try every which way in his attempts to pass Schumacher, as does Mansell with Hakkinen. Alesi is lucky not to hit anything with this errant spin. He gathers it up quickly and doesn't even lose a place. Lap 26, Mansell is in for his first stop. Lap 28, Hakkinen comes in and so too does Barrichello. It's the latter who gets out first. Barrichello then runs wide over the curbs and it's enough to let Hakkinen through before Alesi's Ferrari whistles past the Brazilian and the Finn in one deft move. Lap 36, an error by Schumacher triggers the conclusion to the 1994 World Drivers and Manufacturers Championships. No words can describe the feelings that Damon Hill must have now. A marshal gives Schumacher news of Hill's retirement. This is the moment he knows he has become champion. The Benetton team are well aware. But it still takes a few moments for Schumacher to realise what he's achieved.
I pushed him very hard all the way. It was a terrific race. And all I can say is that it's over now, and it's a bit of an empty feeling, but I think I gave him a good run for his money, and he certainly was feeling the pressure because he ended up falling off the road.
Mansell now leads the Australian Grand Prix from Gerhard Berger, who has considerable trouble passing Frentzen Sauber. Barrichello receives a 10-second stop-go penalty for exceeding the pit lane speed limit. Hakkinen receives the same penalty for the same offence. Lap 77, Hakkinen suffers brake failure. With 4 laps to go, Mansell still leads, just doing enough to fend off Berger's Ferrari, which is in second. Brundle is in third, Barrichello fourth, Hannes fifth, and Alesi down a lap in sixth. Nigel Mansell wins his first Australian Grand Prix. Williams win the Constructors' Championship.
And elated Mansell probably knows better than anyone how Damon Hill is feeling. At the post-race press conference, he has nothing but praise for the job that Hill has done this year.
I've got to say, first of all, what a fantastic job he's done. I mean, he brought the championship alive, he won those races, which he had to, and I don't know the outcome of it. Obviously, he's lost the championship, but I'll tell you what, I'm for one very proud, and the whole country should be. He's done fabulous.
To say Michael did a brilliant job all the year, not many mistakes, and I think he really deserved it. I'm sorry about Damon. I think Damon, as Michael said, showed, especially the last 2 races, that he also is able to do a great job. He also is able to win the championship, and it's always like this. One has to win it and one lose it, but he's gonna have still time to win it, and he's gonna do it.
Michael Schumacher is Germany's first ever Formula One world champion. He may have made it look easy, but it's been a tough year for him too.
The season has been started quite well, I would say, in Brazil. Even Aida, it was a good race, and then we came up to Imola. And what happened there is just when I talked about nightmare before, then I have to say it's in the other direction, and all of us know what kind of feelings we had to make about this in particular for Ayrton, but as well for Roland and as well for Carl, what happened in Monte Carlo. For me, it was always clear that I'm not going to win the championship, and it's Ayrton who is going to win the championship. But he hasn't been there for the last races, and I'd like to take this championship and give it to him.